study sexual reproduction in plants under biology. Sexual reproduction means the fusion of male gamete and female gamete and producing a zygote. As you all know, what is the reproductive organ in plants? Yes, that is a flower. Flower is the reproductive organ in plants. And here you can see the structure of the flower. Usually the flower contains both male and female parts. The male part of the flower is called stamen, and it has two main parts, the anther and filament. Anther produces the male gamete, which is known as the pollen grains. It is produced here, and filament is there to support the anther. And this is the female part of the flower. This is called carpel or pistil, and it includes three main parts: stigma, style and ovary. Stigma is a sticky surface which can hold or which can stick the pollen grains, and style is there to connect the stigma and ovary. And ovary contains the female gamete, which is called ovules. There can be more than one ovule. It will vary flower to flower. The first stage of sexual reproduction in plant is the pollination. Pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma. If the pollen grain is transferred from the anther, the stigma of the same flower or the flower in the same plant, we call that self-pollination. If the pollen grain is pollinated from the anther to the stigma of the flower in another plant, we call that cross-pollination. This pollination can happen because of the insect or by the wind. Because of this method, we call that insect pollination or wind pollination. According to the pollination methods, we can divide the flowers into two categories: insect pollinated flower and wind pollinated flower. Insect pollinated flower is intended to attract the insects. Therefore, it should have very bright and large petals, and it contains nectar and scents to attract the insects. But these features are absent in the wind pollinated flower because its intention is not to attract the insects. So they have very dull color petals and small petals, and they don't have any nectars or scents. And when you see the structure, the wind pollinated flowers, stigma and anthers are exposed to the environment. Therefore, when the wind blows, it will carry the pollen grains, and the drifting pollen grains can stick into the stigma of the wind pollinated flowers. But in the insect pollinated flowers, they are just closed inside the flowers. And if you take the structure of the pollen grains in the wind pollinated flowers, they are smooth and light, so that it can easily carry it out by the wind. And the pollen grains of the insect pollinated flowers are sticky and spiky, so that it can attach in the surface of the insects, and this produce moderate amount of pollen grains, and the wind pollinated flowers will produce large amount of pollen grains. After the successful pollination, which means after the successful transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma, the pollen grain starts growing a pollen tube. The pollen tube grows through the style and enters into the ovary and eventually reaches the ovule. Then the male nucleus inside the pollen grain will travel through this pollen tube and reaches the ovule and get fused with this female gamete. This fusion of the male gamete and female gamete is called fertilization. After the fertilization, it produces the zygote, and the zygote will develop into the embryotic plant, and which is inside the seed. So after the fertilization, the ovule will develop into the seeds, and the ovule coat will develop into the seed coat or testa. And the ovary part now develop into the fruit, and the ovary coat will develop into the fruit coat. And the zygote develops into the embryotic plant with the radicle and plumule. And the rest of the parts will become the food store. In the food store, there can be starch or proteins, and this Food store is very much important because until this seed grows and start doing the photosynthesis, it is going to take the energy from this food store. After the formation of these seeds, the seeds will disperse. The actual intention of dispersion is to reduce the competition for light, the competition for water and minerals. Those things can be reduced when they disperse. The seeds can disperse mainly in 3 methods. It can disperse through winds, or animals, or water. According to the method, they have the adaptations. If the seed is dispersing through the wind, it should be very light-weighted and have some feathery structures so that the wind can carry that seeds. And if it is dispersing through the animals, it should have some hairs or hooks which can hang in the animal's fur. And when you take the water, they should have a very thick seed coat so that it can travel miles away from its source. So once after the seed gets its conditions, the conditions of water, enough water to activate the enzymes, and enough oxygen for the respiration, and enough temperature to give the optimum temperature for the enzymes. Only when the seed gets all these conditions, it starts to germinate. Germination is the growth of a new plant from a seed. So this is how a new plant, a genetically different plant, is produced through a sexual reproduction in plants. I hope you understood the lesson. Stay home, stay safe.